Hi, it's Zen, the Crypto Queen, and I wanted to touch on a few subjects today. XRP can reach as many people as possible. I wanted to touch on this because I just did a video that I called, what did I call it? It's about Onyx. That's JP Morgan's new platform that will work with XRP very well. I suggest you check out that video. I don't know if it's been released yet. I have someone who does some work on my videos and then releases them. So if it's out there, I will check it out and put the link in the description box below. If not, you can check it out. It'll be labeled XRP and JP Morgan at some point. And if you would, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you see all of my videos if you like my content. And also, if you would give this a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm and all of that. Okay, so that being said, this is not financial advice. I simply show you every day, or at least 3 times a week, what I look for and research on the daily. And I put it into a video so that you can see where to check things out. Daily HODL is often a good place. There's a few places that I check for information, but I'm happy to supply it to you. If you want to do your own, I will always put the links in the description box below. So here we go. Many times I get asked whether something should be made to only work with XRP, unless it's an XRPL, that's the ledger, where it really is special and the only native asset. No, it should work with anything, meaning, okay, it's going to be part of Onyx, okay? And Onyx, as I mentioned in that other video, JP Morgan is massive. Ripple has while this whole SEC case has been going on, they've been making alliances around the world, probably have 300 connections with banks and financial institutions. JP Morgan, as you know, is massive, so this could work with anything. I think this is his cryptic way of saying it's out there to work with anything. So I'd rather have some technology that works with XRP work for as many people as possible today. Here he is. Okay, this is the point. Blockchain veteran uses Google as an example to illustrate this point. This draws more people to the technology and causes everyone to get better experiences from that technology. If you can use it even when XRP makes no sense, you can easily use it when XRP does make sense. If Google had tried to make the internet only work well for people who use Google stuff, the internet would suck for a lot of people, and that's true. And then there would be a lot fewer internet users, internet devices, and internet connections to access Google stuff, even when it's a fit. So understand that statement. Go back and read it for yourself if you need to. I'm going to hop over to here. It's another daily HODL excerpt. I wanted to touch on this because the SEC has failed to prove XRP is a security in the Ripple lawsuit, according to Jeremy Hogan, one of the major attorneys on this case. So in a lengthy thread, he tells Twitter followers, and I'm on Twitter. I try to stay off of there. Sometimes there's a lot of BS and nonsense on there, but Jeremy Hogan I do follow, okay? So the SEC sued Ripple in late 2020 under allegations that the company sold XRP as an unregistered security. It does fit under the definition of investment contract, which is different. So I don't even understand why this case has gone on this long, but hey, you know how long cases are, right? And they'll paper you to death to try to prove something. And this is about crypto regulation. Make no mistake, the U.S. is the big dog, and they are going to try and shake it out for retail investors, and also, for tax purposes. Uncle Sugar always wants his part of your money. And then also because the U.S. has a big concentration of XRP, probably users. I shouldn't say probably. Definitely, but it's being used around the world. That is a question that comes up. But here, the SEC has failed to prove that there was a contract of investment in XRP, one of the key features of a security, according to the Howey Test. Now, what the hell is the Howey Test? We're going to get into that in a second. I pulled it up, and we're also going to talk about one other thing, okay? So stay to the end because, all this stuff, everything affects everything else, and I'm trying to connect dots for you, but it's kind of difficult because I don't know where everyone is at. If you're kind of a beginner in crypto, maybe none of this makes sense, and maybe you just think I'm an XRP enthusiast, which I am. I do believe it's going to rocket at some point. I do believe it's going to be a key currency transition method, because I mentioned this on several of my older videos. I used to live in Singapore, move thousands per month to take care of business in the USA. That's using SWIFT, which is in the back office of your online banking. If you've ever moved money out of country or back into this country from another country, it is what you use. Okay, so that would take 5 to 7 business days, and they would charge accordingly. Now here, and I read this morning, that somebody moved $50 million worth of XRP. I wish I could find that article now. I should have brought it up. Sorry. But it cost 30 cents, or was it $30? Even so, that's a lot of money to move for that amount. But I think it was the lower amount. Anyway, in this case, the SEC has failed to argue that there was an implied or explicit contract of investment. And this has been going on for a couple of years, right? Okay, well, you had time to break out all your, discovery and all that. Instead, it argues that the purchase agreement is all that is required, and that is all that it proves. But that argument tears the investment from the contract. So, you know what? I will leave a link to this. This baffles me, why this is going on so long. It truly does. I'm going to touch on this too, but let's go over to the Howey Test. The Howey Test definition. The Howey Test refers to, it's actually here in Florida, the SEC versus Florida. So this was about sold contracts of citrus groves to buyers in Florida, who then leased back the land to Howey. Company staff would tend to the groves and sell the fruit on the behalf of the owners. Both parties shared in the revenue. Most buyers had no experience in agriculture and were not required to tend to the land themselves. Howey had failed to register the transactions, and the U.S. Securities Commission, SEC, intervened. So the Supreme Court established the 4 criteria. Okay, so an investment contract is an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profit and to be derived from the profits of others. Okay, so here's the Howey Test. And cryptocurrencies, digital currencies such as Bitcoin are notoriously difficult to categorize. They are decentralized and as such elude regulation in many ways. Nonetheless, the SEC has taken an interest. Yep. Why? Because Uncle Sugar wants their cut. That's why. And they want some regulation and decentralization and all the things that we all got into crypto to begin with. I still believe in it, and believe in it very much with XRP. So that's why I continue to do what I do and hopefully educate you as to what's going on. So that's the Howey Test. I'll put links for all these description below. I did want to touch on 2 other things. I know this is a lot. Maybe I shouldn't. Let's go over here. If you don't know what the BRICS nations are, this is going to become important to you, whether you like it or not, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of the use of fiat currency. And make no mistake, we are in a recession here in the United States, probably around the world. Is it playing out in most people's lives yet? Well, I think we were about 3 to 4 months away from that, but a lot of people are feeling the tug on the gas prices, food prices, electricity prices. Here in Florida, the insurance rises for properties and homes has gone up. I mean, there's a lot going on here, but let me just suffice it to say, look at the size of the countries involved in this. Okay, now South Africa is always, questionable to me. I'm going to look into that one separately, but I get this. Look at all the land mass that we're talking about here, going up against the United States fiat currency. Has that happened yet? No, not yet, but will it? I'm going to keep a watchful eye on that, all right? So let me jump over here. I guess I'll mention it. Why not? Because we're talking about the fiat currency, U.S. fiat currency. Kevin O'Leary, he's the Shark Tank guy. and says he's been hearing calls for the demise of the U.S. dollar for his entire life. Well, that's probably true. At least since 1966, he says, you know what? I thought it was a little bit later on than that, but I don't know. I was a kid then, so what do I know? Ask any high net worth individual anywhere on earth where they want to put all of their money. Nobody tells you the yuan. Nobody says the euro. Nobody says the British pound. Nobody says Brazilian currency or Venezuelan currency. It's always U.S. dollar. I tell everybody that has a concern with this, get over it. Well, that may be true on the issues of countries such as China and Russia brokering deals to use their native fiat currency to settle transactions. He says it's irrelevant to major economics and will continue to rely on the dollar to trade goods and services. Well, that may very well be, but let's take a look at maybe the exchange of goods and services and petrodollar in China and Russia. If they're brokering deals using their native fiat currencies, that could be a problem to me. Okay, I'm going to have to look up Peter Zeihan's thoughts on this, but I will get back with you on that also. No one's dumping their U.S. dollar. That is a major trading platform. Everybody wants to trade commodities and goods and services in U.S. dollar. I always call this out. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave that right there and let you decide for yourself. I don't know that I think Kevin O'Leary, even though he has a huge net worth, is somebody that I follow. That's kind of like listening to what's his name? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, talk about the difference between Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. You know what? It's all opinions, and we all have one, just like we all have you know what. So listen, I'm going to end it right there. I hope that you took something away from this video, and if you would like a one-on-one session to talk about, I don't know, connecting the dots around the world, this is probably the first time I've really touched on it, because I don't like to give too much information. I don't like to get political, because I'm not a political being. I just see things happening, policies happening. I watch what's going on around the world. I try to see how that connects, and how that connects specifically to cryptocurrency. That's what I'm in it about. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I'm going to end it right here. Love you all. And if you have any questions, or you do want to book an appointment with me, please email me at zendevon@gmail.com. Please put crypto in uppercase letters. I get in the subject line. I get a lot of email. I don't want to miss yours. Or hit me up in the comments below on YouTube, so I can at least get a heads up from you, and then we can switch to email. However it works for you is fine for me, okay? And we'll get you scheduled up. And that's it. Ciao for now. Catch you on the next video.